The brother started life as a character in an Irish Times column written by Miles Nagopoline, but nowadays if you mention the brother, the person who immediately springs to mind is my next guest. He first performed his one-man show way back in 1974. Since then he's travelled all over the world with the show. He's done a TV version of it, and this week a new video of the brother has been launched. Will you welcome, please, the brother's brother, Eamon Morrissey. Eamon, sit down there, please. What exactly is your relationship with the brother?
It's difficult after all these 20 years. I think it's a bit like the relationship between parties in a coalition government. You know, it's great when it's going well, but when things start going bad, I get to hate the guy. I really do.
Yeah, you've been doing it a long time.
It's a long time, and it is, of all the shows, the one-man shows I've done, it is the hardest one to work on. It is really, I mean, from an acting point of view, you have to work so hard every night to do it, because I think the guy on stage is such an appalling bore. He really is one of the world's great bores. And it's a very thin line between being a funny bore and being actually the most boring person ever on stage.
Well, you don't suffer, in your private life, you don't suffer bores gladly. I mean, the pub bore you are very familiar with.
I know that geezer too well, and the pubs are infested everywhere with them. And funny, I mean, I've been stuck investigating pubs for 30 years of my life, and I'm still doing it. And the research goes on. I can't. I don't seem to be able to stop on it. The pub board. There are all sorts of manifestations of the pub board. The worst manifestation of the pub board is the great character. Every local seems to have a great character. And if you ever know, when you go into a pub, the locals love to introduce you to the great character. And that means the locals get a night off, and you're stuck with them. Because usually he hasn't drawn a sober breath since the night Kennedy died. You know, that kind of... and you're stuck in a corner for the night, listening to... Oh, protect me from them. They're all over the place.
Yeah. Well, what do they talk about these days? I mean, do they have particular subjects?
Oh, what they have, there is a general range. So one of the great ones in Irish pubs is the great feeling that there's always, I wonder what's behind that. No matter what it is, you know, the bus was late. I wonder what's behind that now, you know. I mean, I had a fella laid down the law telling me this election was all planned, actually. You had to, it's obvious, you know, because, I mean, it must have taken some organising for Bertie Ahern to get his look-alike on the £20 note. You had it organised, they knew, like, you know, it's all behind it, you know. Here's another. We'll get.
Did they talk? Have they got particular subjects like, trendy subjects? The ozone layer, for example, the hole in the ozone layer is a big one these days.
Well, see, they can tell you, like, fella told me, I do understand that. I mean, all this overheating in the upper, the greenhouse effect. I do understand it, like, because I have one, you know, a greenhouse, like, you know. It's basically the same thing as happened, the overheating, and you solve the problem the same way, like as you do in a greenhouse. You open a window in the upper atmosphere, you know, and you have it organised. You know?
That's brilliant.
And he kind of believes it.
Yeah. Now, tell us, who is the brother?
Look, I wish, that's a hard question. I wish I even after all these years, I'm not quite sure I know, because he never appears on stage. The guy I play is the brother's brother. He's a kind of, the layman's expert on everything. And I think we've all listened to people who talk about, well, the brother, you see, he'll explain that to you. You know, if you're looking to get something cheap, the brother, he's the man for that. If you want a bit of plumbing, the brother, he's a brilliant, you know, the brother. And the guy is so sincere about and so in awe of this brother his. You never actually get round to telling him, you know what, your brother's an awful aegis. And he usually is.
But he's an amateur surgeon.
Oh, he's everything. I mean, the brother, he does a job. His own nose is out of order, you know, but he'll take the razor to the nose before you're much older. Or there'll be blood in the bathroom any night now. You know? He looks after himself. He looks after Charlie's health. He did Charlie's kidneys in 1934. Gave them a thorough overhaul, and that's the thing none of your doctors would throw their hands at, you know. So he's into all sorts of, but he's one of those wonderful creations of Brian and Nolan, or Miles Nagopoline, Flann O'Brien, the man has so many names for himself. The wonderful writing, like in The Third Policeman, one of the characters I take into the brother is Sergeant Pluck, who is a policeman with his own obsession about, did you ever hear of the molecule theory? Everything you see is composed of small particles of itself, all darting around in arcs, circles, figurines, and these gentlemen are called atoms. Do you follow me? Now, the atomic theory is very difficult to explain, but if you had a bar of iron and you hit that bar of iron a number of smacks with a good coal hammer, some of the atoms from the bar of iron will go into the coal hammer and vice versa. Do you follow me? Now, would it surprise you to know the atomic theory is at work in this parish?
It would.
With the growth and net result that people who spend most of their natural lives riding on iron bicycles through the rocky roadsteads of this parish have already got their own personalities mixed up with the personalities of the bicycles. Some are even worse than 50% bicycle. The unfortunate postman, I would say, is already 71%. And so on. But I mean, it's this obsession with that Flann O'Brien's characters have with really starting from a very mundane thing like a bicycle, and then this wonderful mad theory evolves out of it.
Yeah, because in A Swim Two Birds there was a whole scientific explanation of the gas meter.
Oh, that's a wonderful break. Yeah. I mean, the story in the novel is belting along, and they all stop then on the sand, draw out how to read a gas meter.
Yeah, because he must have had some sort of rudimentary idea of science. Because in The Brother, for instance, when he talks about the brother can't look at an egg, there's a bit of science in there.
Yeah, well, that has a strange, although that would have been written way back in the 40s. But I mean, when you think of the things that went on today, the brother can't look at an egg. Can't stand the sight of an egg at all, man. Ham, cheese, fish. He's up and out. No eggs. Thanks very much, but no, the egg is bad. I do often hear the brother saying how dangerous eggs are and all the diseases. You see, the trouble with an egg is it never dies. It's all full of microbes, you see. And once the egg gets down inside in the bag, the microbes start marching around the place, delighted with themselves. Oh, no trouble at all to your men, the microbes, to cause an ulcer on the side. Just imagine your men, the marching up and down your stomach, eating, drinking, and breeding families. I do chance the odd egg myself sometimes, but one of these days I'll be a sorry man.